Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm continuing with remembering some of the best moments we had of last season when it comes to reaction. The question that was brought to us last season by Jimmy Carragher was, did Erling Haaland made a mistake to choose Manchester City over any other teams? And also there were some things that were said it. So we're gonna listen to what these guys said. Then I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section as we will be analyzing it for ourselves. Let's get into the video.
Welcome along, everybody. So we had an interesting conversation, I thought, about Erling Haaland just last week, in which you basically suggested that you thought maybe he's picked the wrong team in going to Manchester City. Jamie, can you expand on that at all?
Well, it seems a silly thing to say when you consider how many goals that he has scored, but I don't think we are seeing the full repertoire of the strengths of Erling Haaland, certainly what we saw at Borussia Dortmund. His goal-scoring numbers are absolutely fantastic, but I actually think any centre-forward playing for this Manchester City team would have great numbers in front of goal. And I've just got a few clips to show how you can use them well and how at times maybe Manchester City are not using them and getting the best out of them. And there's a debate about whether he needs to adapt to Manchester City or Manchester City need to adapt to him. But this is a clip earlier on the season. Now, this is Erling Haaland dragging the centre-back out of position. So Manchester City are still playing the football, playing small passes. But when you see space like that, and you've got a man with the pace and the power of Erling Haaland, you use it. You don't think twice. And this is what he can do. He just knocks people out the way, and he uses his fantastic pace. Don't forget, he's also come from a league where it's a lot of counter-attack. That doesn't happen with City. But this is a counter-attacking opportunity now. Look at him, make that run. He wants that ball there in the space. This time Cancelo can't deliver. So we've seen them deliver it, we've seen them not deliver it, but this is the big problem for me. Erling Haaland drags his centre-back out of position. Rico Lewis on the ball now has to play that ball into the space. And you actually see the reaction of Erling Haaland now. And I've watched this numerous times. At times, I feel he gets frustrated in this Manchester City team because he doesn't get the ball early enough. And we're still not seeing 100% of Erling Haaland. We're only seeing 70-80% in a Manchester City shirt.
Is that just because the way Pep wants to play, though, as well? You know what I mean? You talk about that cautious build-up rather than playing that. When we see De Bruyne play, they play that ball, but when he's not playing, it's not the same.
My point in it is not a criticism of anyone. It's Haaland has done fantastic at City. So you've got a great team, Manchester City, without a centre-forward. You've maybe got the best centre-forward in world football. You put him into that team, who should change for who? No one. But he has to get used to playing for Manchester City. It's not a counter-attacking team like the Bundesliga and playing for Dortmund. But also Manchester City, if they don't play that ball more often, you're wasting the talents of Erling Haaland. So it's a case of they both have to meet in the middle.
I mean, Jamie said it, he's been fantastic, right? So you can't really criticise him, especially if you look at the numbers that he's got, the goal-scoring records that he's breaking. But how can he get even better?
But this is what Jamie said, and we're talking about him getting better. How can Man City get better? You said that sometimes the team should adapt to him, but sometimes, from games to games, from time to time, away from home, can you also help your teammates on the ball or help your team to come out or help your team in and around the box? I think that's very important. Again, getting better. Because when you look at the touches that he had away from home in the box of the opposition, it is not great. How can those numbers be better? That's what I was trying to say last week. How can he be better? It's not criticism because what the guy has been doing is crazy, but away from home sometimes in the league and in Europe, you have to do a bit more. This is Arsenal away. Normally as a 9, here you run into the channel. You run into the channel to try to offer a solution to your winger. But because he's not that type of 9, he likes to stay central, he likes to wait and be in the box. If he had moved, maybe Grealish didn't give him the ball, but he would have been in front of Saliba right now. Maybe he would have had a touch in the box. Maybe he would have offered a solution to Grealish. But he didn't. He stayed inside. This is what I'm saying. Grealish cannot perform there. Okay, Bernardo Silva goes there. He's still not moving and offering a solution in and around here. He doesn't. It's very difficult. That's what I talk about being predictable. That's predictable. You can defend that. Now, let's compare it to Benzema. Different type of striker. Ball goes to Rodrigo. Different things. Haaland, would have gone straight away and tried to break his neck and believe in his winger and not offer any solution. Benzema is different. Rodrigo needs help away from home. We need to score. It's a tough game. He can't help me. Can I go and help him? Yes. 1-2, touches in the box, and again, goal in the box. We all know he was lucky on that one. Kane, very different. Can you bail your team out? We need you to hold the ball. We need you to bring us exactly here with Son. Kane goes into the defender, first and foremost, controls the ball and go. Same thing here. You will see, Rodrigo will get the ball. Gundogan gets it. Nobody can shield that ball. At that particular moment, you go and back up on the defender, let the ball come. He doesn't do that. He looks a bit uncomfortable when the ball goes into this type of situation. Again, Nottingham Forest, which was very weird for me. I'll explain. This is him at the top of the screen. Rodrigo's going to get the ball. Now, perfect movement from a 9. My number 10 is on the ball. If I make that run, I can have a 1v1 with the keeper. But he doesn't. Why? Because he wants to go back in his house, as you're going to say here. And by going back in his house, stop. Kevin De Bruyne is trying to see what can happen. He's not even looking at him. He wants to go in behind the defender when he already had a good position. Now, if he moved here, he could have had a 1v1. Maybe Gundogan could have received the ball. You would have had option 1 maybe to score, option 2 to score, and option 3. At the end of the day, you had nothing. Because he often wants to go back post. And I go back to what you were saying. Can the team adapt to him sometimes earlier? And can he higher at times also adapt to the team and what the game is asking? But the guy is doing ever so well. Understand there is a difference between talking about a guy and being constructive on Man City and how they can play and how he can get better. And that will be...
It might take, when you think about what City has already done this season, you would think that when Jamie Carragher was saying it was really crazy. Why would you say that a player who has broken the Premier League record, who has done so much, could be the player that made a mistake to come to Manchester City? But when you think about it, it was like two planets trying to come together and form one single planet. Yes, they managed a treble. Congratulations to Man City. But I think they would have done even worse, or would have actually done even worse damage than what they actually did last season. And I actually believe that they can even do much worse this season. They can even go even a little bit further than where they went last season. Because if you analyze what Thierry Henry, Jamie Carragher were saying, Jamie Carragher was showing the things that the Manchester City squad has to do to try to play with Erling Haaland so that it can produce better. As well as Thierry Henry was talking about what Erling Haaland has to do so that he makes playing easier for this Manchester City squad or Manchester City team. Sometimes you can see that maybe some of the movements of a striker, it's still up to immaturity for the player. Of course, he is a scoring machine, he is a robot, but there's still so much in his game which can change. And I think the more he spends time under Pep Guardiola, if things keeps working so well, he can change it, actually become even more of a threat. This is why I talk about Darwin Núñez, especially into this season that we're going ahead, that the difference between Erling Haaland and Darwin Núñez is this. Darwin Núñez is willing to run into space to actually come and try to help the player with the ball. Erling Haaland just goes straight forward and expect the ball to come to him. That is something that was highlighted in this video. Go rewatch this thing and actually understand what I'm talking about. Haaland expects the ball to come to him. While you can see, for example, they showed Benzema, who's no longer there at Real Madrid now, that the way he moves when they were beating Liverpool, he would go to help Rodrigo. He would come close to Vini so that he could do 1-2 passes so that it becomes easy for them to outclass a defender. They are working so hard to make this about the team, not about them. While we had a problem this season, last season, of Erling Haaland believing that he's the main guy and this guy says to produce the ball to him, which most of the times you'd find that he was waiting for these guys to actually try to create chances for him. Sometimes he won't even be looking at the guy with the ball, you'll be looking elsewhere, trying to go to what we call his comfort zone. rather than to actually come to a point where he does something for the team, which in return helps him to create more assists and actually even score more goals, because he is capable of doing that. And Manchester City are capable of scoring many goals. So it was a crazy question when it was asked when he started performing, but he should understand that as much as he wants the team to adjust to him, he should offer himself to the team so that the team, him also adjusts to the team, the way Manchester City plays, the one-to-one passes that Pep Guardiola does, so that he adjusts as well, so that it makes it easier for both of them to actually become a lethal and even a stronger unit. You might not agree with us right now when you think about this with what they have already done, but when you really go back and watch the video, you actually see that these guys were just not saying these things because they hate Erling Haaland. They were not just saying this because they don't really care about him. They were seeing some of the parts of his game which was lacking, which they hope that if he could learn, they could actually develop to actually become a powerful, even a lethal striker that we got to see, and we believe we could even see more of Erling Haaland, which he can even break the records that he has set if he is able to play for the team, while the team also remember that they have somebody that when they give the ball, he scores. I don't know. It's up to you to think about it, but that's what I think what Thierry Henry, Jamie Carragher was talking about, and something that I believe can also still change when it comes to the game of Erling Haaland. Do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. I'll be back again with another one. I'm really excited going back to some of the videos that we're taking out. I'm going to be doing more of these things as we build up to the new season of 2023-2024 season. We're out. Peace. Subscribe, and also, like I say, keep checking the transfer roundup show. People, there will be some videos that are dropping today. I hope you're excited. I know I am excited. Have a nice time, and let's be blessed. I'm out. Peace. Subscribe.